Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, we're going to be discussing 4 tips you could use to help prolong your water fast. We're missing a piece of the puzzle.
You start getting healthy and you just become a better person.
We need to start focusing more on the individual.
All right, before we get started today, I just want to quickly announce that we are at over 50% funded on the AHA Wellness app. So I just want to say a big thank you to the community for supporting. I also want to let you all know everyone who donated $10 or more over the course of the past, I think 2 weeks or so, I'm going to be inviting you all to a Zoom call, a special Zoom call just for those who have contributed. And those emails should be going out later this week. So just check your spam box. Check make sure it's not in your spam box, and sometimes it goes there. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how to kind of prolong your water fast. What are some tips that I can give you all to help you achieve this? The first tip that I can give you is to prepare for your water fast. They always say that you finish something the way you started. So you want to go into it with the right energy, the right frame of mind, and also the proper preparation so that you can endure what is to come. Remember that most of the difficulty of fasting is going to happen up front. Once you kind of get going, it gets a little easier. Now, that's not to say that it doesn't get more challenging as you get deeper into your fast, but getting past that first hurdle seems to be the most difficult for people. So the way you prepare is by always giving yourself about 5 to 7 days, eating high water content foods, hydrating well, make sure you're sun energizing your water, use your VitaJoule bottles or your crystals to charge your water, whatever the case may be. This makes the water more hydrating so that you can, start the process of detoxing before you actually start your fast. The next tip that I want to offer you all is to really look into meditation. If you're not currently using meditation as a tool, it's something that you probably need to learn a little bit about. But meditation and or breath work, they kind of can coincide. Breath work is also a really, really powerful tool you could use while fasting. It's something that I use and I talk about, but I don't think people really use it. I don't think that, it's not one of those really flashy things, but it could be very, very helpful. Like to literally, when you're starting to feel the hunger pangs or maybe your mind is racing or whatever, to literally just go outside, get a little sunlight, which is huge. It's very, very important. Do some breath work. It doesn't have to be for a long, right? Like, give yourself 5 to 15 minutes, and then just maybe you could work up to doing it longer, but start off with maybe like 5 minutes a day, or when you just really feel like you need an extra push. And I found that to be very, very beneficial. I also learned a lot about the body through learning about meditation and breath work, more specifically breath work. How it oxygenates the body or alkalizes the body, and that helps with detoxification. Remember, we lose most of our weight overnight while we're asleep. And the reason for that is because we breathe more naturally. If you're practicing breath work while you're fasting, you're going to increase your detoxification. That's just because most of the weight, most of the toxins are going to come out through your breath. So it's a very, very vital step, and I highly encourage it. The next trick that I'm going to talk about, or the next tip I'm going to be talking about, is sleep. Okay, oftentimes we feel like we got to be ripping and running all day long. When you're fasting, your body is doing a lot of work. You can imagine that your body is doing light surgery. So you really want to give yourself as much rest as possible. Understanding that we have families, jobs, and social events, do your best as part of preparation for your fast to schedule your fast during times when you can have quite a bit of rest. Now, this is not for our seasoned fasters. If you're seasoned at fasting, or if your body is acclimated to fasting, you don't necessarily have to do this because you're mentally tough and you're kind of used to the hustle and bustle of life. But if you're new, if you're really looking to get started with fasting, or if you're struggling with fasting, plan your big events around fasting. Like, don't plan a fast before a major trip. right? You don't want to plan a fast, and then maybe you decide, oh, I want to go longer. I'm gonna fast during this trip, and then you end up breaking it. Or you plan a fast to you were going to break it right before the trip, and you go on the trip, and then you're not eating well, and so you have all of these kind of repercussions from poor eating. Be wise about it. Pick a period of time, even if it's a shorter period of time, right? Maybe you want to do 21 days, but you got a trip on day 25. Maybe you need to cut your fast back to 14 days or something like that, right? Just be smart about it. That's what I did. Also, John and I developed the 5-2 method, right? Where you're going to fast for 5 days, you're going to eat for 2 days. And part of the reason we developed that is because you can pretty much fast throughout the work week, Monday through Friday, and then on Saturday and Sunday you can eat, which is when people tend to be a little bit more social. So that's the reason, one of the benefits of the 5-2 method. But there's many different ways to do it. Obviously, if you're looking to do longer fasts, then you're going to want to just be wise about when you schedule your fast. The last tip I'm going to give you all is a really important one. I find most people tend to be blown away when I say this, but hey, guess what? If you're doing a water fast and you've prepped, you've meditated, you've done all these other things, you still need a little extra push. If you feel like you're getting weak, have a little fresh squeezed juice. Or if you don't want to have fresh squeezed juice, you could actually do like infused water. Or if you don't want to even go that far, you could do like coconut water. Okay. All of these things would be perfectly okay in order to help prolong your fast. Remember, the goal is cellular detoxification. It's not about fasting for 21 days on pure water, right? That sounds good. And we want to be able to do that. But if we can still promote cellular detoxification, which is going to help benefit you throughout your entire being, literally your entire being, then it's okay to do a little juice if you need to do a little juice in order to, hit that 21-day goal or whatever the case may be. I heard Dr. Sebi talking about fasting quite some years ago, and he said, have a little juice each day, to keep yourself from going insane. Now, obviously, we promote pure fasting over juice fasting just because it is a more efficient fast. But if you're having difficulty doing a pure water fast or any of the other types of fasts, it's okay to tweak your fast, right? You want to utilize something that's going to be less impactful. So if you're doing a water fast, something liquid like coconut water would be fantastic. If you're doing a juice fast, moving into a smoothie realm would probably be a little bit of a step back in order to give yourself a break. But it really just depends on what type of fasting you're doing. You can really kind of play with it and have fun with it. But I would urge you all not to be stuck on that purist mentality where you feel like you have to do it 100% pure, whatever fast you're doing, because at the end of the day, what ultimately ends up happening a lot of times is you push yourself too far, you push yourself beyond that breaking limit, and then now you're dealing with the spiral after the fast, right? You don't break your fast properly. You're not breaking it in a controlled environment. You're not in a good mental state. Maybe start binging and these sorts of things. So it's much better to take a gradual approach versus just having being like, yo, I gotta go all out. One other tip, bonus tip, all right? Bonus tip. If you have been fasting on and off for the past, year, right? You can't seem to stick to it. Stop pushing yourself to do these long fasts, right? Like we're talking about, how to extend your prolonged fast, but maybe prolonged fasting is not right for you. Maybe that's not where you are right now. Okay. There's levels to all of this. So if you're having like difficulties doing any type of fasting, right? You've tried the prolonged water fasting. Maybe you've tried some hybrid techniques. Maybe you've tried the juice fasting. Maybe you've tried doing, smoothies only or whatever. Um, Attempt a fruit fast, right? Do fruit only. Remember, fruit meaning the ovaries of a plant. This is sweet, this is savory, this is your bell peppers, these are your apples, these are your tomatoes, your avocados, these are zucchinis, these are butternut squash. You know, you can try, you could try different methods. Keep in mind, the dietary strategy is what's really going to benefit you ultimately anyway. You know, fasting is kind of like that jump start. It's going to help get you out of, obesity very quickly. It's going to help get you out of heart disease range, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. We understand all this, but you can also achieve these things with proper dietary strategy. There's many people who have achieved similar outcomes with diet, and it doesn't happen as quickly with fasting, but if you're consistent with it, it will happen. Also, remember, day one that you change your diet, you start seeing benefit. It's not as if you've got to wait 3 months to see benefit, right? So increase that water intake, change the diet, stop eating the poor foods. We understand that the meat can be detrimental to the system because of the toxicity of the meat, because of the treatment of the animals. We understand that the processed foods aren't good for us because most of it has, artificial ingredients, natural flavors, and all these synthetic chemicals. We understand that sugar has been refined to a place where it's no longer what it was originally, and it becomes a drug. We get that. We know that dairy products are mucus forming. So let's stay away from these foods, right? Right? You don't have to do the long fast. Let's stay away from these foods and let's eat high water content foods. Let's eat, let's eat our water. Let's drink hydrating water. Let's drink fresh squeezed juice. Let's make smoothies and do that for a month. Do that for 60 days. Do that for 90 days, right? If you do that, you're going to get similar results. So I just want to encourage you all to don't give up, right? There's always a way. If you're dealing with food addiction, or if you're dealing with yo-yoing or whatever, try something lighter. Stephen and I have developed an amazing course. It's a 40-day wellness course that we put together. We are about to host our third class. Enrollment isn't currently open, but I just want to, put it out there so you all are aware. We will be opening enrollment maybe in about 30 days or so. So just keep your ear to the ground. And if you're interested, or if you need that type of support, that will be available coming up pretty soon. Once again, thank you all for supporting the AHA Wellness app. If you're not familiar with the AHA Wellness app, make sure to check the link in the description box or in the comment section. I will pin it. We are looking for contributions so that we can finish this app out. We're 50% funded. We are already in development. You could check out the page. We have a ton of information on the app, what it's going to look like, how it's going to function, so you can see what it is that you'll be taking part in. And it's going to be something that's going to really boost the intensity of the health goals that we're looking to achieve, as well as, make things a little fun. We're going to have competitions. We're going to have recipes. You all are always looking for recipes and things like that. So check that out. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, the application of knowledge is power. So I will see you all next time.